For the longest time, we wait for the weekly opportunity to spend extended periods of time with our significant others. Awaiting the weekend like we would a holiday. For most of us, we now have that opportunity, albeit not under the best circumstances. It's up to us to find the good in the bad, and when presented with the opportunity, how do we make the most of this time? We balance the continuation of work with small gestures and a notion to normalise this new routine. All the while, very much aware that we are enduring a very surreal reality.
This office is really great for working in, but after spending 8 hours in it, it kind of gets a little bit tiring. I try to move it up by working out of different rooms throughout the day, but I kind of like to have all my screens and working off of, just a small laptop. I nearly pulled my cable out and knocked a glass of water over. That was close. Working on a screen like that big sometimes helps you focus, but it's not ideal. At the moment it's kind of handy because just trying to drill in and really focus on things, and I've got Spotify open on my PC so I can listen to podcasts. I'm currently listening to episode 5 of Tuxedo Time by Becky and Chris, which is great. I absolutely love their podcast and I love their channel. Big fan. I think you have to be quite well disciplined when you work from home. Fortunately, I've been working from home now for a while, so I've got myself into a good routine, which is pretty good actually. So if you've got any work habits, drop them in the comments below and we'll chat about them, because I'm all about that kind of productivity heightening. I've got a work from home buddy with me today, haven't I?
For the foreseeable.
Yeah, so what, you were supposed to go in today and Thursday?
So I went in today and tidied up the classroom, and then by I went in at 8, by 11:30 I was home, because there were only about 8 children. We were expecting 25-ish, yeah. And we were meant to have all staff in today. The head teacher said, we don't need to be here, and they changed the rota, so now we were meant to be in once every other week. Now I'm not in until the 16th of April, and today is the 23rd of March.
Yeah, so there's quite a bit of time there, isn't there? So I guess I've got to work from home, buddy, until this all blows over, pretty much.
I'm gonna go mad.
Good morning. It is the 24th of March, and yesterday Bojo put the country essentially on lockdown. I think that was probably the best thing to do, given the fact that people really aren't listening to any advice at all. But yeah, it doesn't really change much for me because I'm not doing anything anyway. And as discussed yesterday, Bella's not going to work, so it doesn't really change anything for us at all, other than the ability to get food and walk the dogs. It's not a lot going on really. Nothing news. At least the weather's really nice for us not to be able to go outside.
It's really bloody annoying. We've just been on our allocated walk out. I mean, we've got dogs. What do you do? We haven't got a garden, we live in a flat. We've got 2 dogs that need walking, need to go outside. So yeah, aside from just taking them out for a lunchtime, that was technically outing number 2 of the day. I think those rules are in place for the people that actually don't listen to the advice properly. It's really, really bizarre being stuck inside. I'm used to working from home. I'm not actually used to having Bella at home when I'm working from home as well. You might say it's a good thing. It's just not really noticeable. I thought I'd notice it more, but it's there's another person in the house, but I'm working, so I don't really notice it. Yeah, I'm in my office. Bella is here. Oh yes, We made Bella a little makeshift desk. It looks quite Instagrammable. I mean, I'll probably put some B-roll over the top of that, knowing me. One thing we were saying when we were out was that it's a good job that we live on the lake. Office had a bit of a tidy up recently as well. It's actually been staying quite tidy as well. I think it gets really untidy when I want to take camera equipment out of the house. I mean, like this is a little bit of a mess. Don't look there. But my desk is relatively tidy. I'm playing a lot of guitar. I've been doing some recording. I've been doing some playthroughs. You might see some of that eventually. Basically, reteaching myself how to record and I guess mix at the same time. I don't think I'll ever be like really good at it. That's never been my forte, but I'm trying to learn. Another thing I'm trying to learn is Blender. So on Sunday I spent pretty much the entire afternoon, so from about 12 until 5, learning how to use Blender because I want to be able to use it to create some virtual environments for filming it. I kind of need to get a green screen to be able to do that as well, but you know, I don't know whether or not that's a realistic expectation in the current climate. So we'll have to see. I mean, it's probably going to take me a while to be able to get all of this ready anyway. And I guess before I green screen stuff, I need to experiment with making those environments look real. So that's going to take some time anyway. I really miss going outside and taking photos, and I think I got a bit bored with that as well for a while and was uninspired with going out and taking photos. And now here we are, and I really miss taking photos. So yeah, go figure. I'm a little bit baffled, to be honest. I'm enjoying creating these videos. I hope you guys are enjoying watching them. But the video I released last week has actually done really well. I'm really surprised. I don't know whether or not the traffic came from Bella sharing it on Facebook, or whether or not it came from YouTube. I don't really know because YouTube's not telling me at the moment, so hopefully later on in the week I'll be able to actually ascertain where those views have come from. But it's doing better than most of my other videos in like the first couple of days, which is nice. I'm not really that bothered by the stats, but it's nice to see something actually doing quite well for like a non-typical piece of content on my channel. Another thing that happened recently was, well, the weekend after my birthday, I treated myself for a good year to a new guitar. So let me this little number right here, this little humbucker Telecaster. I tested standard pickup Telecaster. This is a Fender Player. This is the Tidepool MN Fender Player Telecaster. I did try the single coils, however I actually found that I preferred having the humbuckers, and I'm a big fan of having something that does a few things at once. So this particular guitar will be able to play heavier stuff as well as more like cleaner tones. It lends itself quite well to those as well, because these pickups can actually be split coiled by pulling out the tone knob, which is great. Three-way selector switch, you know, the typical stuff. But honestly, how pretty is that maple fretboard? Like, I am absolutely in love. I love this guitar. I've played this guitar more than any of my other guitars recently. And I tell you what, like, it's just nice to be inspired to play and write again. So I've been writing quite a lot, obviously in the evenings, because there's not been a lot going on. Bella's been playing Animal Crossing, as you might have seen in the last video. That went down a real treat. So Bella's been playing a lot of that, and in the meantime I've mostly actually been playing this guitar. I have been playing games, but not quite as much as I've been, as I mentioned earlier, recording, reteaching myself how to mix and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, if you like to hear about instruments, then let me know. One of the first things I did on this channel was talk about music, because at that time I was in a band, and that was one of the things that got me, you know, into the whole vlogging thing, and as such a journey down a cinematography and photography rabbit hole, because I was going places and I wanted to document that, which is why I started vlogging. So if you want to hear more about that kind of stuff, I can do that. Just let me know in the comments. I've got 8 or 9 guitars, all different, including 2 basses that some people might find interesting to hear about. So let me know, and maybe I'll just talk about it a little bit like I just did about this one. So let me know. I'd be keen to talk about it, but only if you guys are interested. Yeah, I'm going to cut this little bit off here, and Bella's cooking dinner, so I'm going to go and help her out with that and put this down, because otherwise I'll just carry on playing it for like the rest of eternity, to be perfectly honest. I'm just grabbing some content for my Instagram. This is my table, my Instagram plants, and my DIY overhead light thing. Just capturing some little detail shots of the Joy-Cons Switch and the other things that are getting me through quarantine, which is all good fun.
By the time we were halfway through the week, the monotony was setting in. The ability to leave the house other than to walk the dogs and go exercise was starting to take its mental toll. Whilst everything was changing, at the same time it felt like nothing was. I continued to work, Bella continued to do assignments, and time kept passing.
It's Friday, and we have seen a rather large decrease in the amount of people who have actually been out, which is nice to see. However, I don't know if that's because of the fact it's about 5 degrees colder today, or if it's because people are actually getting the hint that they should stay inside and not go out in large groups around the lake like idiots. We had a nice little walk down by the lake today, didn't we, Bea?
Yeah.
Oh, you've still got your ASOS tag hanging out the back of your... Bella's got this like fancy ass new tracksuit from ASOS, which is like really soft and looks really comfy, and I'm a little bit jealous. Makes my Adidas trackies seem rookie, seem really beginner. But yeah, we're just making some... Bella's making some Orzo soup. Tomato Orzo soup. It's a Bosch, is it a Bosch recipe? No. BBC Good Food, link in the description. Not sponsored, obviously, but fully enjoy. One of my favourite meals, actually, with some nice Thai loaf.
One of our neighbours left us some poo bags on our doorstep. That's the level of desperation that we have reached. I just messaged her and said, "Hello."
Do you mind?
I just messaged her and said, "How much do I owe you?" And she said, "They were only £2, so don't worry too much. It's not going to push me into poverty quite yet."
That's always good.
I didn't realise the value of community.
Yeah, we've never really had that community thing, because when we first lived together, we lived in Bristol, and we didn't really know anyone around us, and we moved out within a year, so we didn't have a chance to really meet anyone either. And yeah, but now we're here and we've got loads of friends through basically owning dogs have given us lots of friends and acquaintances. Really been enjoying using the Black Magic a lot recently. I've taken it out most of the times we've been out of the house, on account of the fact we've had slightly nicer weather, which has been really, really handy. But also I've been using it to make these videos. And aside from the downside of it having incredibly large file sizes, it's actually really easy to work with, and the quality is much better than anything I'm used to. So yeah, it's just the Blackmagic Pocket 4K. Most of the time I'm using this lens, which is the Sigma 10 to 20mm, but I also use the Canon 24-70 f4 and the 70 to 200 f4, both of which I believe are Mark 1s, because they were kind of cheaper, and I don't really need anything super fancy. I'm not making ridiculously high budget content or videos. Thanks, Arlo. Arlo just kicked the camera, which is why we've slightly moved. But yeah, so it's just that. It's in a small rig cage with a small rig top handle with a small rig SSD holder, recording directly to the Samsung T5 SSD. I've got I think KNF Concept ND filter on there because I'm cheap. Using the Anderson 4K A6 Lite monitor, MPF battery on the back. And then the tripod I use is just a newer, like proper video tripod, because I was using the one this camera's on now, but literally as soon as that thing goes on it, the whole thing is just like jelly. It's just can't handle the weight. But this Manfrotto Traveler tripod works really well for this camera because it's nice and small and light. But yeah, I'm very happy with my Blackmagic setup. I'm actually really glad that I get to use it a little bit more, especially given everything that's going on at the moment with the whole pandemic. It's nice to be able to like document all that kind of stuff.
Nice.
Yeah, it's nice to be able to like capture it so we can look back on it and look at kind of like stuff that we've all been through in our time.
Oh, the situation's nice.
Well, the situation's not nice. I'm just saying it's nice to be able to capture the... Yeah, tonight I'm gonna play some video games, probably edit some of this video and just chill out really, because it's been a very busy week at work, extremely stressful. So the clip you just saw was Friday night, and things were, I guess, yeah, it was starting to get a bit monotonous, but it was manageable. And on Friday night, Bella started to feel unwell. Now, right off the bat, it's not coronavirus. It's Sunday now. We still don't technically know what it is, but we know it's not that because it's not aligning with those symptoms. We've been to the emergency care centre, the urgent care centre in Milton Keynes, following NHS guidance. We wouldn't have gone unless otherwise advised. But Bella is, yeah, she's pretty unwell. She barely slept Friday night. Spent all night Friday night in pain, all day Saturday in pain. So far all day today in pain, completely exhausted, completely wiped out. So yeah, things got a bit a bit real here in terms just in terms of like health and whatnot. Bella's quite a health anxious person anyway, so she's currently resting up, and obviously the first thing she thinks of when she gets ill at the moment is obviously the horrendous coronavirus. So that was a fun Saturday morning, like 4 a.m. call to the NHS service. She's got antibiotics now. Well, hopefully those will work. If it's bacterial, if it's not, if it's viral, then well, we'll just have to see how long that lasts. But yeah, Bella's not in a good way. So yeah, next week you'll probably not see much of Bella. You'll probably mostly see me. Again, I'm going to try something a little bit more experimental for next week's video. There's not going to be any VFX quite yet. I haven't quite figured out Blender completely with After Effects for that. But yeah, I'm going to sign this video off here. Thank you for watching. I'd like to have had, Bella signing this one off with me, but I hope she gets better for the next one. If you did like this video, don't forget to like, comment, get subscribed, and light the bell to stay notified whenever we release a new video on this channel. When Amazon starts shipping stuff again, we'll probably go back to some more gear related videos. I've got a tutorial in the works, not quite figured out exactly how I'm going to do it, but hopefully that'll be releasing soon. We'll see you in the next one. Have a good week, stay safe, wash your hands, drink lots of water, don't cough in people's faces, stay inside, all of that. Yeah, bye.